So this is editing me sometime later. I wasn't sure if I was going to upload this video or not. It didn't turn out as good as I wanted it to. But there's like no videos on YouTube that I know of covering this topic. So I figured something was better than nothing. So I'm going to upload it. This is definitely not a step-by-step tutorial because I was kind of trying to figure it out as I went. You don't have to unbolt all this junk up here. You can just slip the curtains out from in between the cab and where the cabinets mount. I think taking like a paint scraper or a putty knife or something and kind of getting in there and just kind of breaking it loose works, because it just kind of gets stuck together over time and whatever else. Another thing I want to mention, I'll show you here. These rails. If I were to do it again, I would use a plastic pry bar or scrubber or whatever they call them. I would use something plastic because of the poor lighting. I didn't realize I was chipping the paint on that rail when I was taking off the clips. I would try and be a little bit more gentle if I had to do that again, because they're kind of chipped up, and now those plastic clips, they get kind of caught where the paint chips are, or where the paint is chipped. Also, there's an announcement that my brother was having a baby girl. This video was made quite some time ago. She has been born. Yay, my little niece is here, Adeline. So, congratulations to my brother and his wife, and let's get on with it. Well, here we are back in the Kenworth, this time working on the inside. My sleeper curtain, the zipper, is broken. The end broke off, and now it just pulls apart. It was a pretty common failure on these trucks when they get older, about 1,000,000 miles. They give out. To buy a replacement curtain here, from what I hear, it's like $600-700 from Wallworks. I'm not about to pay that. So what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and pull this curtain out, which sounds easier than it really is. Well, it's all relatively simple until you get to here. There's screws back here, and you cannot pull this curtain out from in between the cab and the sleeper without getting this cabinet out. And I'll be honest, I don't really know how all this comes apart. So we're going to figure it out as we go. There's no videos or anything that I found on how to do it. So I figure this is a perfect candidate for making a video, so the next poor guy has to deal with this. He can fix it. What I did is I went online. I believe it was zipperstop.com. I bought some different zippers. I didn't know which one I wanted. They're relatively cheap. I think they're like $6 a piece or something like that. There's a couple different sizes here. I really didn't know what exactly I'm going to need to do this. Basically, I'm going to try and pull this thing out. Paid like $150 for a sewing machine. I don't know how it works, but I'm sure we can figure it out. I'm going to pull this old zipper out, sew the new one in, and hopefully good as gold. It's going to be really hard to record in here. It's dark. It's going to get hot. Eventually, I'm going to have to start the truck, turn the AC on, but let's do what we can. First thing we got to do is figure out how to get this cabinet out of here. As far as I can tell by looking in here, there's 2 screws right here. There's a couple screws here that go into the farther back cabinet. 2 screws down here. It looks to me like this top portion will actually stay in place. I'm not sure if it can stay there to get the cabinet out, but it looks like it is separate from the actual bottom piece. There's some screws going down just right around the lip here. I'll get you in closer when I get a chance to. But I think a good place to start is get these out that are inside of here, and then we'll work on these. And I think, I hope, oh boy, I don't know. You could take these little leather things out, they just pop out of there. So these stretchy bands just stretch around a couple bolts inside there. And pull that out to get that out of your way. Get you in here for a look. This is the forward one. These two screws. If we turn it around, got these two screws down here. Thing I'm curious about is how is this going to slide out of here with this wall, and then that piece that goes further back there. There's two more screws here. I guess I didn't expect that this would be separate here, but I guess it's not. And then once we get up on top, we have screws all the way around the perimeter here. I have a fear that this simple job is going to turn into dragging my entire toolbox out here. I'll warn you right now, too, these nut certs that Kenworth uses in these trucks, they are terrible. For whatever reason, when you take one of these screws out, they never go back in right. At least never works for me. And this one's loose, which is concerning. Does that mean the nut cert is spinning in there? That's wonderful. Oh boy. Let's try another one. Okay, yeah, this one's working. Yeah, they are. Oh, and now that one pushed in too. This might turn into a can of worms here. I wonder if there isn't nuts on the back side of this and I have to pull out this, yeah, right tucked up in here in the corner is a whole plastic sheet you can remove. I might have to do that. But we'll worry about that later because I just heard that nut fall down in there. So let's focus on one thing at a time here. Try for these guys. I'm sorry I can't show you what's going on here. It's a screw. Take out the screw. That's what I'm doing. That one's coming out nice. Beautiful. Whoops. Tip the light over. Okay. Okay. The rear one's here going in to the front of the rear cabinet. They are shorter. Short ones in the back, long ones in the front. This is that sheet I was talking about. Kind of goes into this wall. These pins here. Zoom out, maybe focus. These pins here just push in pins. You can see I popped that one out. It just pulls out. For those of you with a Kenworth like this, this is what I do for storage here. Just some Walmart shelf or drawers, small ones or big ones on the bottom, small ones up on top. And then I have a little Keurig here on top, runs off my inverter, and then I keep my garbage back there. So I'm gonna go ahead and try and get this stuff out of the way. I think I can leave my drawers there and just pull these pins out. Whoa! Took my eye out. I'll fix that later. Jesus. These ones towards the driver's seat pull out a lot harder than the forward ones. I couldn't tell you why, but they do. I cannot get up here though, where these are spinning, which is going to be an issue. Remember when I said the nutserts that Kenworth uses in these trucks are just terrible? I wasn't kidding. Are there any secrets hiding under this rug? Yeah, sure enough, there's some screws here. These guys are going to be the same length as the ones that go into the front of the rear cabinet. Okay, we got some movement. Let's see if I can pry on this guy and spin her out. Yep, she's coming. So what I'm doing here, if it's not obvious, is that the nutsert is spinning inside of the wall here. So if I pry on this bolt, I'm at least putting some pressure on that nutsert against the inside of the wall to hold it still. And I'm just able to get this screw out. Getting something back in there is going to be a mess, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. There we go. There she comes. Okay, so that is all the screws out of here. Now what do we do, folks? I guess we start up here. I'm not sure where to start up here. But I think it's what we ought to do. I'll try and get you up here to take a peek. So, oh, my screwdriver is too long. There, here we go. So I'm taking out the ones that point down. Or do I want to do it? Do I want to do that? Yeah. I just put my arm in the way and help you out here a bit. Well, how long is the thing? There we go. It's going to be the same length as the ones that screw backwards into this cabinet. There you go. Wouldn't want you to miss the excitement. Boy, this is crusty up here. This needs to be scrubbed. Really grossing me out. I don't know about you, but I don't pull the carpet out of my cabinets and scrub underneath it very often. I try to keep a pretty clean truck. As much as you can for a working truck. Put that on there. Is this loose now? Whoa! Wow. Oh, for Pete's sake, there's another piece here. What's this now? What's going on here? Oh, what's... Okay. Boom, 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 boom. These are not machine screws. These are your average screw. These are again your normal screws. A little shorter, a little fatter. Now she should come out of here. Yep, there we go. Yuck! So now what? Now what do we do? Boy, I wonder if there's not a lip that comes up on top of this cabinet. It sneaks behind here and it's bolted to the wall back there. I bet you that's the way it is. Boy, they don't make it easy, do they? The thing about that is that I think this rail would need to come out. Maybe If you're lucky, when you loosen these, you can pull this out and pull it out from behind here. Maybe. Otherwise, you have to remove all this stuff. And like I said, I've tried to remove this before when I was installing my stereo system here. And that stuff will not, it won't come apart. I don't know if it's like glued or what. I could get the ends to pop loose, but the center would not let loose. And it's almost like Kenworth makes it so that if you're going to take one piece out, it all has to come out. And that really sucks. So what's our other option here? So we got a couple screws out here. Is there any chance we can just slide the curtain out from behind here? Maybe. How are you going to get it back in? And what are we going to do about these nutserts that are gone? Put it back together. I don't want everything to rattle when I'm done here. Let's see if I have any luck. Trying to just wiggle. Trying to wiggle. Ew, fuck. I am going to take these curtain screws out and see if there's any chance we can wiggle this thing out from behind this cupboard. I don't think you can. I think I had tried this before on my old truck and it would not work. But I don't know. Maybe we'll get lucky. Guess I don't. Worst case scenario, a guy could hand sew that zipper in, but it's like 50 inches of sewing 2 zippers in. That's a lot of. You have some sore hands by the time you're done. It's not ideal. I just don't know why Kenworth would pack our whatever. I don't know why they had to design it this way. It's just silly. It's a curtain. I realize it's made out of nice strong leather, but it's gonna get damaged. It's gonna get gross. They should make it so that you can replace the thing. Come on, shaky hands, McGillicuddy. Let's get the screw out of here. Will this slide out from behind here? To be honest, I don't think it will. It's like stuck together here. Separated. Oh, there's some movement. Oh, she's coming. She's coming. Yes! Look at that. Right on. That's fantastic. I hope you saw that. Sorry. You missed the climax, my bad. It was able to slip out from behind there. Which is fantastic news. We don't have to deal with any of this, because this is a nightmare. If you guys know how to take this stuff apart, please make a video of it. A good video of it, because I can't find anything, and I'm not going to tear my entire truck apart just to make a video on it. Someday if I have to, I will, but As of right now, no. So what did we have to do rather than do all this? These two screws definitely need to come out. These two screws definitely need to come out. They bolt the curtain here. I'm sure taking some of this other stuff out here helped me be able to pry the cabinet forward just a little bit. Probably didn't hurt any. These screws all down the side up here. So these we have to actually unclip each little clampy deal from the track. So the bottom down here, these are pretty simple. These are pretty prone to coming undone. You probably already deal with these if you have one of these trucks. These are just buttons, and then they just clip into these plastic doodabbers, plastic slider doodabbers. So take these out, you just unclip them. I got this guy that apparently wants to come with, but try and be as gentle as possible here. Try not to break everything while I'm here. There we go. Like one more. Okay, so here we are up here on the top track. Just gonna take a screwdriver, gently pry the side out. This one side comes out, the other side should be able to twist out of there. Oh, there we go. Well, I thought it would come right out, but I guess not. It's going to be a little more stubborn than expected, which is how everything goes. And back first seems to be the ticket. Yep. And that's all that is. It's just a little C-clip. So there we go. Got that curtain out. I'm gonna go ahead and pop this other one out, and then we'll go to the sewing machine and I'll see if I can make an ass of myself using that. Shout out to this lovely gal who Downtown Tailoring. She shows how to remove a zipper because I don't have a clue. So thank you. I don't know your name, but thank you. So thanks to that lovely lady, I didn't know how you remove the thread. I was hoping I didn't have to pick every little stitch out. I was messing around with this. I use one of these seam rippers for wiring every once in a while to remove electrical tape. Doesn't work as good as people think it does, or say it does. So here's what she does, and it seems to be working swimmingly. You just spread it open, and you just gently cut with a razor blade. I mean, I'm sure I'll get quicker as I go with this, but yeah, I mean, it seems fairly straightforward. Because don't let me fool you. I have no idea what I am doing here. I'm just trying to save a buck. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get these zippers out. Just doing this. We'll set up the sewing machine and try and sew a new zipper in, I guess. I don't know. We'll get her done. Right here in this spot by the where the hangers are and where the curtain curves, things are a little bit tighter. There's some more threads and stuff in here. Nothing too impossible. So here she is in all of her glory. pretty rough. It's got a bunch of broken teeth. This broke off. This is a paper clip that I wrapped in electrical tape so it'd stop slicing me open in the morning. And then this other, the other flapper dealy-doos broke off. And the other side here, well, it's the other end, but the whole end of the zipper's torn off. So I don't know, maybe there's a way to fix it, but I don't know how. I'm gonna use this opportunity to, when I sew this back together, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and sew it with a little bit more zipper exposed, because as the truck has gotten older from the heat and all that stuff, this leather has shrunk a little bit. These zippers are really tight. I'm sure that's why the original one broke in the first place. So I'm going to try and leave a little bit more zipper hung out to get an extra, ½ inch or something like that. Hopefully. So now how do I clean up all of this? So here on this back side, what I've discovered is I went to just pick one of these out of here, and if you pull, all that junk comes out. So that's how you remove the backside. And then all these little flappy things, they just seem to wipe away. They're just a little bit stuck in the stitch holes. But yeah, easy peasy. I'm gonna get the other zipper out. We'll touch base after that. It's a girl. My brother's having a girl. That's fantastic. For some of these loose threads here, I'm just heating them up and pushing them down to prevent the thread from pulling out any further than it already has. It's kind of a quick, easy way to keep the thing decent. There's another one. Kind of heat it up, get hot, and smush it down. Kind of like you would do at the end of a nylon boat rope, to keep it from coming unwrapped. And again, the same thing here. Just doing everything I can to prevent any further damage on these curtains. The truck has almost 1.3 million miles on it, so some things are getting tired, Alright, there it is. I have all the threads pulled out, cleaned up. Go ahead and set up the sewing machine, and we'll see how sewing some zippers in goes. Once that's done, we'll clean these up really well before we put them back in the truck. Okay, so here we are, out of our element. I have verified several times this is the way I want it. This is my driver's side curtain. It's the top, and normally I unzip it down. When you go to bed, you zip the curtain up. Update: my aunt, she does sewing. Apparently what a guy or gal ought to do is get this laying in here first and use some pins and get everything lined up the way you want it, right? And then as you sew, take the pins out, which I wasn't going to do. I was just going to put this in there and kind of hold front and back and try and sew it in. But yeah, I trust her way more than I trust me with this whole process. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead, separate these, and then I have some T-pins I use for electrical diag, and we'll pin this thing in here where I want it, and hopefully everything goes really smooth. And like I said, I'm gonna try and I'm gonna try and bring the zipper out just a little bit more than it was at the factory. It's basically buried in here, and the leather has tightened over time, and now it's really. I'm sure that's why the zipper broke in the first place. Is the leather got tight, and now the zipper is being pulled. It's harder to get started and all that. So if I move this out just a little bit, I should be able to get another ½ inch out of the curtain. And I think that's all a guy needs to get it where I want it. So poke this through. Got that guy in there. She said to do every 3 or 4 inches. 4 inches. And seems overkill to me, but I trust her. Balazo. There must be several layers of fabric right here, because this is really a tough spot here. Okay, so there it is, all pinned together. I'm gonna end up poking myself like 400 times. I will go ahead and toss her in the little machine here. So I have to take this first pin out. So we're going to chop this up in here. Lower our foot. Turn the machine on. Let's get started. Huh? What's the worst that could happen? I can see right now my foot is a little too wide. Oh, jeez. I'm sorry. I think I can move it over somehow. Yeah, here we go. Go a little further. Should have either put these pins facing the other way or took it out long before I got here. There we go. And I went too far again. The thing I'm struggling with most here is it's such a heavy material. It's so big that the foot doesn't want to feed it very well, and it keeps kind of getting caught on the table and stuff, but it seems to be working. So we're gonna keep chugging along. Home stretch here. Oh, just a little bit. I might go ahead and go right past the end of the zipper and sew the rest of this back up where it's opened up over the ears. Let's go ahead and reverse. Forward. And we should have a successful stitch. A little cutter right here. Look at that. We got her done. It's not the prettiest stitch on earth or the most even or anything fancy, but I think she's gonna hold. She's gonna do just fine. Take a look here. Looks like we had some goofiness happen here in a few spots. Kind of piles of string here every once in a while. I think that's probably from my inconsistent speed, would be my guess. Let's ask my aunt and find out.
Once pulls clear of the tornado, it is grown to its full width, 3 miles wide. The rain has fully cleared, and now the air is
And just like that, second one went way faster because I finally got the machine set up right, and ended up breaking a needle. I had to put a heavier duty needle in, and all this is pointless if you know how to sew. Or I don't know, watch a different video on how to sew, but watch this on how to get the curtain out and back in and all that. Yeah, I'm happy with how it turned out. I laid them both on the floor. They line up. They zip up right. It's exactly what I wanted. But I'm going to lay these out, scrub them down real well, and make them shine all nice, and then we'll throw them back in the truck.
Oh, I know. I'm excited too. No.
Okay, we are back in the truck with fresh looking curtains. Goal here is I don't know, I'm just gonna try and slide these back in here and hope they don't fight too much. I'm just gonna peek in these holes if I can. Oh, I can't see nothing. Gotta go. Oh. Now it has to come down. I'm sorry the lighting is so terrible in here. I just don't really know what to do about it. You see, it's got to come down now. Oops, not that far. I'm able to see these holes further down. So I'm kind of trying to line it up based off those. And right there, she's about lined up. Still gotta go in. Well, they're going though. I think this side is going to be the hardest side. I wanted to get it out of the way first. I can see the holes. They're not perfectly lined up yet, but I can see them. Just gonna pry with my screwdriver a little bit. There we go. I can see them. I can see these ones. Yeah. I'll start putting some screws back in. I'm gonna start with these top ones, then I'll do the bottoms, and then I'll deal with these ones inside the shelf last, because yeah, those are going to be a pain. Okay, got one in. So now we're just focusing on these guys. They require a little finagling, but they do line up. Oops. And I just want to verify that the strap on the front is not stuck behind here on the top and bottom. Connect all these bad Larrys back where they belong. Each button should have a track slider that it clicks into, in theory. Oh, I forgot my amplifier wire needs to be tucked in here. All right, gang, we're at the end of our ropes here with this here project. I cannot find anything here at the house that's going to work to fill these massive holes. I mean, the problem is, since there was a nut cert inside the wall, the hole is big enough for the nut cert to go in. So the hole I need to thread into is actually much larger than the hole that's there. So that's a project for another day. If you have any ideas as to what would work, I've used wing nuts before. Them drywall wing nuts pop in and they fly open. But then you can't really reuse them, because as soon as you unscrew them, the wing falls down in the wall, which isn't the end of the world. It works, but for now, I mean, everything's tight. I don't even think it's going to make any noise. So let's be honest, I'm probably never going to fix it. Probably, I don't know. But it's not all lost, because this, we got a sleeper curtain. And it closes and opens, and yeah, it's fantastic. So it's definitely a win. Sucks if you run at night as much as I do. It really sucks when you try and catch a few hours of sleep during the day and you can't close this and you got the sun beaming in.